Hey there, how's it going? Yo, people, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes. Welcome to FPL Talk Part 47. And we had a double game week 33 just gone, didn't we? For those of you who didn't know or didn't prep your teams properly, we had a double game week on fantasy and it was exciting, wasn't it? It was proper exciting. Without further ado, let me share my screen so you guys can see what I can see and we'll have a little look at how I got on. So there we go, game week 33 gone Saturday, 19th of April. And we had some games on Saturday, Sunday and on the wonderful Monday and on Tuesday. So the fixtures were Brentford beating Brighton 4-2. I thought that was going to be a draw, but fair play to Brentford. They won and Buemo getting 2. Norgard and Wiese with the goals. Jensen, Lewis Potter and Buemo and Wiese with the assist. Why did I get rid of Buemo for double game week players? I will never know. Mitoma with a goal and Welbeck for Brighton with Hinchelwood and Wiese getting the assists for them. Bonus points went Buemo getting 3, Wiese getting 2 and Wiese getting 1. Good performance if you guys had Buemo in your team, or Wiese, well done. If you kept him, well done. If you didn't make any adjustments due to chips, etc., well done, because your team did really well with him. Buemo getting 2 goals and an assist, and Wiese getting a goal and an assist in that one. João Pedro owners in the mud. Red card for you guys. Not great for those of you that keep punting on that guy. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth first off, double game weeks for Crystal Palace. They get in themselves a clean sheet in that one, didn't they? Really, unless you had Chris Richards, in which you got yourself a red card, or if you had anyone else, you would have got yourself a decent set of bonus points. So the bonus points went to 2 to Henderson. So if you had the goalie, well done. Otherwise, if you had some Bournemouth assets, Zabani got 3, Kirke's got 2, and Houston got 2 brilliant players, isn't he? Dean Houston at Bournemouth. I think he'll be going in the summer. Lots of interest in him. Everton losing 2-0 to Manchester City at Goodison Park. Kovacic and O'Reilly getting the goals. Nunez and Gundogan getting the assist. Nothing for my man Mamouche in this game. Bit of a shock. There you go. 3 bonus points went O'Reilly, 2 for Matunis Nunez, and 1 for Ruben, who I had. So if you had any Manchester City defenders, well done. You got yourself some clean sheets in that one. West Ham 1-1 with Southampton. Bowen getting the goal and Fulcrum with the assist back from injury. Good assist for him. Ogawichu and Walker Peters getting the assist for Southampton. Doing well, Southampton, oddly enough. But that's because the shackles are off now because they've been relegated. 2 bonus points for Emerson, 1 for Bowen, and Ogawichu got the 3 for Southampton in a 1-1 draw. Surprised. I thought maybe West Ham would win that one. That was 2-0, 1-0, something like that. So well done, Southampton. Villa with the first of their 2 games in the game week. They're getting a 4-0 victory they had against Newcastle at Villa Park. Maatsen, Ollie Watkins and Onana getting the goals. Rodgers, Tillemans and Watkins with the assist. Shah getting the goal and Barnes assist for Newcastle. Nothing for Murphy in this game, but an OG for Burn in that one. So if you have Burn like I do, unlucky. Fulham with the 2-1 loss to Chelsea. Iwobi and Sessegnon. Iwobi goals, Sessegnon assist. Neto and George with the goals, and Enzo with an assist for Chelsea in that game. Bonus points went 2 to Sessegnon, 1 to Iwobi, and 3 to Neto. I'm looking at Neto for this game week as well. Ipswich losing heavily to Arsenal at home. Trossard 2 goals, Martinelli with a goal, and Ranieri with a goal as well. Odegaard with assist, Rice, Zinchenko, and Marino assist in that game. Bonus points went 3 Trossard, 2 Zinchenko, and 1 to Rice. That's right, good win for Arsenal there and the defenders. I had Raya obviously as well. Man United losing 1-0 to Wolves. Sarabia getting the goal and Cunha back with an assist, isn't he? There you go, bang. Cunha 3 bonus points, Totti with 3, Bentley with 1, and Agbadu with the other bonus point. And then the final game of that official game week would be Leicester versus Liverpool, and they lost. Didn't they, Leicester? 1-0. What a surprise. Trent coming on, scoring right late on with the goal. Substituted on Kanata getting 3 assists, my man. Simiakis getting 2 and Virgil getting 1 in that game. Then we had the Spurs Forest, which actually is officially the last game of that game week. Spurs versus Forest and a win for Forest. Yes, it was with Charleston and getting the goal. Pedro Porro for Spurs assist. Anderson and Wood goals for Forest with Dominguez and Langer assist. 3 bonus points to Anderson, 2 to Wood and 1 to Pedro Porro in that game. And then we have the double game week play. It had basically 4 more teams playing in this double game week: City, Villa, Arsenal, and Crystal Palace. 2-1 win, no clean sheets for either teams in this double game week. In terms of the second fixtures, Bernardo getting the goal and Mateus Nunes getting the one as well. Doku with the assist. Good assist from Doku as well. Did you see that brilliant outside of the foot? And then Rashford getting the goal and Ramsey getting the assist for Villa. 3 bonus points went to Bernardo, 2 to Mateus Nunes, 1 to Rashford, and that 2-1 win for City. And the final fixture, which is disappointing from my perspective, Kiwior getting the goal and Trossard getting the goal, Timber assist and Odegaard assist. Eze getting a goal, Mateta's brilliant chip, but terrible defender from Arsenal, and Wharton's assist in that game as well. Bonus points went through Mateta, 2 to Eze and 1 to Trossard in that final double game week fixture. So, how did you guys do in game week 33? I, as always, look to target and beat the average. I'm not in a mini league that I have money on, so I'm not too bothered about that side of things. I just let that tick over. But in terms of the general performance of fixtures in the week by week, I look at trying to beat the average point score, and I did. The average point score this week was 56. I got 67. Did play triple captain stupidly, but I'll explain all that. Raya with the 7-pointer, which is good over the 2 fixtures. Konate got me 9 and 1. Ruben got me 9 across 2 fixtures. Lecroix got me 7 across 2 fixtures. Saka was my triple captain. Yes, I know. In my defence, it was the Ipswich game that got him. He should have scored a hat-trick first and foremost in that game. Then he got injured slightly by that Leif Davis tackle, which is really reckless, and he got sent off for that. It affected the rest of the minutes in that game and affected his performance against Crystal Palace, where he only came on for about 30 minutes or so. So I was quite disappointed with not only the first fixture, but the second fixture against Crystal Palace. And on top of that, he also had a glorious chance to score against Crystal Palace. So though we could speak about hindsight, though we could speak if, buts, and maybes, technically speaking, Saka should have got 4 goals and potentially not injured, and it would have been a brilliant game week for me. But instead, he got 6 points, really poor, 1 point across both games. So it gave me 6 in the end. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. People like to do these chips and get them out of the way. I always plan to play the triple captain on Saka this game week, regardless if I'm just coming back from injury. How would I have known he would have got injured against Ipswich, and how would I have known he would have missed all those chances? I wouldn't. So I put the triple captain on him. Sarr got 3. Rogers got 7. Mohamed Salah got 3. Isak got 2. Mamouche was someone else I was looking at as well as an alternative. Wouldn't have got me a great deal. He got 4. And Mateta got 10, who I was looking at as a sort of third option for a triple captain. Would have got me the most amount of points. That gave me kind of 30, but he didn't. So I ended up with 67. Bench got me 3. Murphy got me 2. Williams got me 2. And I stuck Burn right at the end. And he got -2. So that was a good shout, wasn't it, in the end? Yes, it was. So there we go. That was the game week 33 team. I got 67. So the happiness is I got 11 above the average point score. So that was good indeed in that sense. Not good from the triple captain side of things, but we live and learn, don't we? So moving on to this game week, let's have a quick look at the fixtures that was going on. So we have some matches that take us into an interesting space. We have a Saturday and Sunday and a Thursday fixture. Now, big news this game week. It is a blank game week for those of you that do not know. There's quite a few teams that are not playing. The Arsenal, Man City aren't playing, Aston Villa aren't playing, and the Crystal Palace. There's quite a few teams you need to keep an eye on, and you need to ship out players from ASAP. And by ASAP, I mean you've got to 11 o'clock this morning. So you've basically got, give or take, around about 2 hours to hurry up. I wouldn't trust the service at 5 to 11. So really quick, sort your team out. If you haven't already, strictly speaking, you should be organised and sorting it out long before the deadline. But for those of you lastminute.com people, you do have until 11 o'clock today. I will be putting out a message on X warning you 30 minutes beforehand, so keep an eye on my X channel and see what's happening on there. Otherwise, the fixtures today are Chelsea versus Everton at 12:30. Good fixture, that one's going to be an interesting one. I can see a draw 1-1 in this one, I really can. I need Cole Palmer to be scoring at some point as well. Wow, that guy hasn't scored in ages. He got an assist not too long ago, but yeah, that's not the greatest. Nicholas Jackson's back, so where's the excuses now? Neto's firing to a degree for Chelsea. Perhaps he's the man to target this game week if you want a Chelsea asset, Neto. Everton-wise, I think they're doing really well against other opposition, aren't they? David Moyes has got them playing really, really, really well. That's why I think there'll be a draw. I actually can see Cole Palmer scoring. I really can. I think he can silence the critics this game week. As for Everton, in terms of goals, usually we look at Beto. Harrison's done quite well recently as well. So O'Neill's back from injury. So one of those guys involved in a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge. Brighton versus West Ham. Good fixture this one. 2-1. Even without João Pedro, I think Brighton have enough up front The likes of Welbeck and Pitoma involved in this one. But the goal, I think, which West Ham will score, will be a Bowen, Jobby, and Kudus involved in that one. Newcastle versus Ipswich. Newcastle win, clean sheet, 2-3-0. I can see in this one. Isak involved, Barnes involved heavily, maybe a Jacob Murphy assist in this game as well, and hopefully a clean sheet for Burn because I have him in my team. I had him in my team. Southampton versus Fulham. Fulham win, even though this is at St Mary's. 2-1 actually. I can see Southampton getting a goal. Oguachu or Suleiman, someone like with a goal for Southampton. Maybe Dibbling if he's involved as well. Fulham-wise, they're doing really well. Iwobi, I think, will be involved, as Will Smith Rowe in this particular game for the 2-1 win to Fulham. Wolves versus Leicester. 2-0 win. Clean 2-win. Wolves. Cunha, Strand Larsen. Absolutely love those two. Really, really good players. Really good performers. Sarabia being back and involved in the team as well. I can see them doing well. I think Jose Sarr's back in goal as well after injury, so that's good news for Wolves. 2-0 in that game. Then we've got the Bournemouth and United first game of the Sunday fixtures. Really good match this is going to be. I think I can see a draw in this one, possibly a 1-1. Semenyo involved, maybe Cliver as well. Man United wise, there's only one man you really turn to at United, isn't there really? And that's Bruno Fernandes involved in some form. So there you go. I think that's going to be a 1-1. A Liverpool Spurs, chance for Liverpool to win the title after Arsenal drawing with Crystal Palace at home. And quite frankly, I can't see that party being spoiled. I think Liverpool will scrape a win. Perhaps a 2-1 win in this game as well. Goals, Salah needs to get back in those goals, and I think he will. And in terms of the other one, possibly a Luis Diaz. Maybe we usually turn to Jota, don't we, in that sense as well. So maybe a Jota goal, perhaps even a Virgil van Dijk. Involvement in that game as well. Spurs wise with Charleston, I think he'll score, and that'll be it then. 2-1. And then the final fixture of this game week, blank game week, don't forget, it's deemed to be Forest versus Brentford. Good fixture as well, this one. Really good. Brentford coming off the back of a really good performance. Forest performing really well this season as well. I can see a 1-1 draw in this game. I really can. A goal possibly from Wood, maybe from Forest. I can see he's got a lot of transfers in this game, so maybe the Chris Wood goal, and then I think Wissa will score for Brentford with an Mbuemo assist. So what team have I got set up for this Brent game week? Well, the fact is I'm playing chips like no tomorrow at the moment. Last game week, I played the triple captain on Saka. That didn't go to plan. This week, it's been forced upon me with my team. Considering I have so many players out this game week, I've gone and played a free hit course. I have. And this is the game week team. It's Kepa in goal as it stands against Manchester United. Done really well quite recently. Trent Alexander-Arnold in defence. I'm sitting on the fence with Trent. I might do a last-minute swap to Virgil van Dijk, but otherwise that will be an option. There will be Liverpool coverage in this team. Sticking with Trent because he came on for 16 minutes. The information I'm getting from Slot, from reading from his press conference, suggests that he might start Trent now he's back from injury. There is Conor Bradley to worry about there as well, so that is a potential problem. Aït-Nouri, a lot of people have gone Aït-Nouri. I can understand why. If he doesn't get a clean sheet, he gets a goal. Sometimes he gets the goal on the clean sheet and the assist. Really good play all round. Burn, I'm expecting and hoping to get a clean sheet against Ipswich. In midfield, I've gone Bowen. I think he's going to be a bit of a differential this game week against Brighton. I think he'll score. He scored in the last game week as well. Barnes, I've swapped Murphy out for Barnes. I just think Barnes has got a little bit more form. He's got a bit more fluidity right now. Though I'll do like Murphy, and he's done really, really well. I've gone for Barnes this game week. And Mbuemo, he's done really, really well, hasn't he, in the last few game weeks. To not have him is criminal. Mo Salah, I've gone captain purely because of the fact that they've got Spurs at home and it's party time. I might swap that last minute to Isak, we'll see, but Isak didn't score in the last game week, nor did Mo Salah, so up in the air a little bit on that one, but currently the captain's armband is on Salah. Palmer, I've gone and done a big differential this game week. I think he can score against Everton. I know Everton are solid, but surely there's got to come a time when Palmer is going to break free and score again. Could it be against Everton? I don't think it's going to be a big scoring game, but I think it could be a crucial one, which gets Palmer or Nicholas Jackson going again, maybe. Cost me nothing to bring him in, purely just a free hit spot, which I don't think is a bad shout for a premium player, albeit a bit up in the air performance-wise. Then we've got Isak, obviously, up front, and we've got Cunha also, which is a big player to bring in. He's done really well recently. He's got Leicester at home. Why wouldn't you bring in Matheus Cunha for this one game week? On the bench, we have a backup goalkeeper in Bentley. He probably won't play. Jose Sarr is back from injury, so he's likely to start, which is fine because I've got Kepa in goal as the regular goalkeeper for this game. Ivan Nielsen I've brought in just to put in a final half decent forward into the team. He's got Man United. He's on the bench though. Cucurella, I've gone for a big time Chelsea player. Might as well got the money to play around with. I don't plan to boost the current team, although I was thinking about Shah maybe, and then downgrading Cucurella to someone like Colwell. Maybe we'll see. And then we've got Nico Williams, who is my man in general from Forest, but he's got Brentford, and I don't see that being a clean sheet game compared to Trent Alexander-Arnold's output that he might get against Spurs if he scores or he gets a clean sheet. 8 Nouri's, I think he'll get a goal, potentially, maybe an assist, should I say, rather than a goal, an assist and a clean sheet. And Burn, I think, will keep a clean sheet. So why risk that clean sheet for players like Cucurella, I think, will concede against Everton, and Nico Williams, who I think will concede against Brentford. So, and then Evan Nilsson, will he score ahead of Isak Cunha? No, I don't think so. Will he score against Parma? Maybe, but I don't want to risk taking Parma if he's at home. Will he score against versus Salah? No, he won't. And Buemo, no. Barnes, no. And Bowen, no. So that's why Evan Nilsson sits first on my bench. So there might be some small surgery I do. Again, I'm looking at Cucurella, maybe downgrading him for a cheaper Chelsea asset, just to have Chelsea coverage, maybe upgrading Burn to a Shah this game week. We will see. At the end of the day, I've got a free hit. I can play around with it right until that 11 o'clock deadline, which is the point of the free hit. But essentially, that's what I want in my team. That's my first team. I can't see it changing unless I do something desperate at the last second. My goalkeeper, I'm a little bit okay with, to be honest with you. They've done quite well recently, haven't they? Brentford, they're at home, but they do have Manchester United. It's that, or it's Sells maybe against Brentford that I was toying with, swapping those two around, having Sells in goal and maybe a Bournemouth defender instead. That would only be possible if I change Burn and Cucurella around and then create some funds from that side of things, because Sells is quite expensive in terms of thing. Maybe even downgrading Barnes to Murphy, but I still think Barnes might outperform considering he's done really well recently, hasn't he, compared to Murphy. 5, 12, 12, 15, 8, 5, 6. That's pretty good numbers. That is something every single game, pretty much. So that is my team for this game week. Let me know what you think. Captaincy-wise, I'm toying with that more than anything else. Do I go Mo Salah or do I go Isak? It automatically went on Mo Salah when I changed his team around, so it looks like I'll be keeping it on Mo. But we will see, won't we? We'll see exactly what happens. I'm curious to see what will happen with that side of things. As always, ladies and gents, I'm on the wonderful socials. As you can see on the bottom corner of my screen, which there we go, down there, I think it is, at AJ1985P is my X, and YouTube is AJ Hardy85. I'm also on Twitch. That's right, A_J_P_8_8_5. Or if you look, the wonderful Facebook, I'm on there as well, which is AJP85-channel. Yes, I am. Let me know what you guys think in the chat section. Maybe even leave a comment on YouTube or on X. Like, subscribe, and follow people. We could be special friends. Yes, we can. So what do you think of that game week team? Let's have a look. What do you think of your game week team? Have you got a few problems? Do you have a free hit available? If you don't, what are you going to do? Are you making lots of transfers? Are you not bothered? Are you just going to roll transfers over and just play whatever players you've got? How many players do you have this double game week as well? Is a big question, really, isn't it? That's something I'm curious about. If you have a free hit, is your team looking quite similar to that? I think that's kind of, I'm hearing a lot about template teams and all this kind of thing. To me, it's not template teams. It's what players are actually playing this game week and getting the best of that particular, team, best players in that particular team, which is what I've tried to do with this one. Really, there's a couple of curveballs like a Bowen. Maybe not many people have gone Bowen. Palmer, not many people maybe have gone Palmer this game week. Perhaps you've got an alternative in goal. But other than that, I think a lot of teams will have the Isaks, the Cunhas, the Barnes, the Buemo, the Salah, possibly the 8 Nouri more than likely as well. Maybe a Cucurella in your team as well, something like that. A Nico Williams or a Forest defender of some kind. But let me know what you guys have got. You probably have Kluivert maybe in your team, or you probably don't have Ouattara, but you maybe have someone like Semenyo in your team as a bit of Bournemouth coverage to play in their game against United attacking wise. So yeah, be interesting to see. So we'll move over to the price changes today. If you guys haven't already seen them, this is what's occurred already. Riso's gone up to 6.6. Iwobi's gone up to 5.6. Luis Diaz has gone up to 7.6. Jacob Murphy has gone up to 5.3. Pope to 5. The Pope has risen despite the fact that it's his funeral today. Bowen has 7.6, and Cunha's moved up to 7 million. Nwaneri's 4.4 down to 4.4, and Damsgaard has gone down to 4.9. What's going to be happening this evening? Well, according to the price predictor, Milenkovic is going to go up. He's going to move to 5.2 this evening. Sells going up to 5.2 this evening. Sissigno's apparently going to go up to 4.2. Ain't Nouri's going to go up to 5.1. Buemo's going to go to 8.1. Barnes is going to go up to 6. Virgil van Dijk's going up to 6.7. Trippier's going to go up to 5.7. Down might go Justin to 4 million. Kwanzaa down to 3.8. Van den Berg potentially down to 4. Kelleher might get to 3.9. Odogi might go down to 4.7. King might go down to 3.9. Essensia might go down to 6.1. Ahmad Diallo might go down, big one, that one, 5.2. Saka, no. Saka might go down to 10.4. Howard Bellis might go down to 3.9. Aina might go down to 5.1. Munoz, 5.2. Ismail Assar to 5.7. Mateta to 7.7. And Mamouche might go down to 7.6. Somehow, I don't think some of these are going to occur. I think there's a wild cards and maybe free hits messing about with the algorithm a little bit. Tomorrow we might have Livramento go up. Strand Larsen might go up. Robinson might go up for Fulham. Wood might go up for Forest. Isak might go up. Cunha might go up. Gvardiol might go down. This is tomorrow, by the way, not now. Big, lots of going on. Rogers down. Savinho down. De Bruyne down. Saliba down. Eze, João Pedro, Van Bissaka, Dubravka, Hill, Okoli, Jisoo, Sumare, Jaros, Bola Ketchup, Wood might go down as well. He's risen and he might go down as well. Virginia, Austin, and Van der Ven. Somehow, I think some of these might not actually occur, to be honest with you. It's one of those situations where you go, I think there's probably a couple of chips that are messing with that a little bit. So, yes, intentions going forwards. Let's have a little look, shall we? Because it's the final thing I'll finish on right now. So, this game we've got a blank game week. That'll be pretty much all my chips, bar one, played. I've been strategic. I shouldn't have perhaps picked Saka last game, but I was like to know what was going to happen. He was the perfect choice if you look at the fixtures, but the fact that he come back from injury wouldn't have mattered because he still started the first game against Ipswich, was the injury and the knock that he took against Davis, which affected things. And perhaps he's getting back into rhythm and missed a couple of chances, should have scored in that game. So triple captain would have always been played. Last game week, it seemed correct. There was a big sort of double fixtures going on. Arsenal had some good ones against Ipswich and against Crystal Palace, and they scored quite a few in both of those games. So that was the right call in general. So this game week, we've got a blank game week. I always plan to play. My free hit was there, or probably 36, but we went with 34 instead, which makes sense. Game week 34. You can see the team that I've picked. I think it's pretty solid, pretty sound, might get some decent points. I've got a starting 11, which is the most important thing. I've got a bench apart from the goalkeeper, who will all more than likely play, but I'm not expecting Kepa to be rested in any way, shape, or form against Manchester United. So this game week is free hit game week. So that leaves me with one final chip to play, doesn't it? And what's that, people? What's that here? You say bench boost. That's right. I've got a BB left to play. Bench boost. Now, when am I going to be playing it? The fact of the matter is, it looks like game week 36 is going to potentially be a mini double game week, possibly. Everything all hinges on results, performances, FA Cup, all that kind of stuff. So we keep an eye on this weekend. Don't forget it's FA Cup weekend. So we keep an eye on that as a side to see what's going on. And who's going through and how that might affect the fixtures. But according to a lot of websites, etc., we might get a small mini game week and possibly even a blank game week. So my bench boost makes sense to play on the double game week that we may potentially get. And it's looking like it's going to be not next week, 35, 36. This one. So potentially loading up on players who are going to double game week this week. Spurs are looking possible. Maybe Forest, someone like that. Potentially not. So very much looking at that side of things, really, seeing what kind of players we can bring in that might help us on this double game week 36 potentially. So that's when I might play my bench boost. I need to, people say, get it out of the way. I don't think of it that way. I think of it playing it as well as you can at the right particular point. A lot of people played at the start of the season. Some people play at the end. As it stands right this second, if we go back to my previous team, I do have pretty much a playing set of players. Every single player is getting points of some kind starting for their team. So the perfect time to do it is very soon. The concern we've got is that a lot of these teams might be on the beach, as in they've got nothing to play for, so they don't really want to play their first team. They might rest a few players. But looking at this, Arsenal still got something to play for. Maybe not, but you're going to want to keep that rhythm. So maybe Raya and Saka will continue to play. Saka's a bit of a risk. Kanate, we'll see what happens, but he might want to carry on for the season. Although if the party's on this weekend, they might end up leaving him out. Ruben Diaz, City have got something to fight for still. Crystal Palace have got something to fight for still, potentially. Although if they go through in the FA Cup, they might be resting a few players. Villa, again, have got something to fight for in terms of getting into Europe and remaining there. City, the same principle. On my bench, West Ham will probably keep playing Areola. I don't see why they'd kick him out of the goal for that reason. Jacob Murphy, again, Newcastle are fighting a little bit to stay in Europe and to keep their place cemented, which I think they will. And Forest, of course, with Nico Williams, are still fighting on that front. So it might be worth looking at that side of things. Perhaps a Mateta out this game week. Ismail Sarr, perhaps not have so many Crystal Palace assets in the team if they go to potentially blank at some point. Again, I've got quite a bit going on, really. Villa, Rodgers. Do I kick out Rodgers? It's probably do quite well, so probably not. Nico Williams is doing well. So I think a lot of it might come down to getting rid of a bit of Crystal Palace assets this game week. Mateta's done really well, so there's a slim chance I might keep Ismail Sarr. I don't see the point of keeping Ismail Sarr much longer, so that could well be my transfer. I do have transfers that have ticked over, so I have to keep an eye on game week 36, which is looking like a potential blank for Spurs, maybe for Crystal Palace, maybe for other players and teams as well. So it's very much a matter of keep an eye on what's going to happen, keep an eye on the Premier League announcements, and prep your team well in advance is the key to all of this. There you go. So that's my game week team, which was my previous game week team, should I say. This is my game week team for this game week. There we go. That's going to be the team that I play this game week, with a minor change in terms of a captaincy potential change to Isak. So either. And then maybe a change in defence, but I haven't decided with Burn and maybe Kepa, those two guys coming out and swap them over. We will see. And Trent Alexander-Arnold is the big question mark. Do I keep him? Don't I keep him? There's lots of 50-50 split on this one, saying that he will play. Why wouldn't he? People saying because he's just come back from injury, because of the fact that he's leaving at the end of the season, potentially to Real Madrid. What's the point of having Trent in the team? Might as well keep Bradley playing, give him more minutes. That's going to be a lastminute.com decision for me. That really is. I'm not going to be hanging about with that one and sort of lingering. I put him in for now because I liked how the team looked. I like the players, I like the premiums of Trent in defence. I like the idea of Mbuemo, Salah, Palmer, Bowen to a degree being a premium player, Isak up front, Cunha being a half decent player. So there's a lot of big time players in there that are going to hopefully perform today and tomorrow and also on Thursday. Don't forget this fixture. So don't forget the cutoff point today is 11 o'clock. I will put up a poster for 10:30 on X to remind you guys that you need to get your teams in ASAP. But otherwise, let me know what you think. Let me know how your double game week 33 went. Let me know what you think of the blank game week 34, what players you've got going on. Just let me know anything and we'll chat all things fantasy. Of course, I've been doing this for years. And as always, ladies and gents, we're coming live from the conservatory. I say always, haven't been doing it for the past week. But today we are live in the conservatory. It's absolutely raw. I don't mess about. I don't have fancy microphones and headsets and all that stuff. It's literally me, mouse, laptop, and that's my team. I play it like you guys play it, so you guys can see exactly what's going on with my team. Let your friends and family and strangers know that I'm doing fantasy FPL talk. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for joining me. You guys are awesome. Check it out on YouTube because that's where we put this video afterwards. AJ Hardy 85. But otherwise, have a great rest of the weekend. I'll see you sensational people next Saturday at 8:45. Take care of yourselves. Have a super weekend. I've been AJ.